What is going on, y'all? We are back with episode 2. So welcome to the Golden Hour with Rose Golden. I am your host, Rose Golden, and today we are talking about knowing better and doing better. We've all heard the phrase before, if you know better, then you do better, but I'm bringing a different perspective to this. I believe that there's something in between knowing better and doing better. So today, we're gonna get into it. My guest is my lovely friend, Miss Thierra Walker, and we are also going to talk about her book, Water for My Seeds. This book was monumental in my healing journey. Let me tell you, I felt so seen in that book. What she did was give me permission to still be healing and to still be flawed and still be worthy and capable of accomplishing all of my dreams. The overall concept of this is, what are you waiting for? So, what are you waiting for? We're gonna roll right into the episode with Thierra Walker. Enjoy the show. And the idea is that we are highlighting transition. So we talk about what happens before success and after success, but not during. There is this 10 years of overnight success that a lot of uncertainty happens during this time. A lot of doubt happens during this time. A lot of tears, a lot of wanting to give up, during this time. So I know that I'm not the only one who's going through my cocoon phase, and there are other people like yourself that are phenomenal now, but I know that you want to get so much farther.
You feel me?
So just to kind of talk through like your personal transition, and like specifically I'm highlighting your book. Like for so many, I told you already, page 3 made me freaking cry. Like like literally
that was
page
really
3.
Good. Your review was like the best one. Yeah, it was like, so good.
And I'm not kidding. Like when I say that. So today in particular, we are just talking about like knowing better and doing better. So to get from knowing better and doing better, again, there's something in between that needs to happen, and where a lot of us are like, I know I should be eating this way, and I know I should be going to sleep at a certain time, but what is it that keeps us from the doing better? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's that. So we going.
All right, listen, I'm here for it.
Okay.
I'm here to talk about all the in-betweens, because right now I'm definitely in the in-between.
Okay.
I thought I was in the in-between with Water for My Seeds.
Okay.
It's a whole nother.
It's a whole other.
I'm thinking I'm coming from like I'm on my way to the shore, and it's like, all right, I'm halfway, and it's like, oh no, I got more to swim to get to the other side, and it's so difficult right now. I've been cleansing and shedding and releasing a lot just within these last 2 weeks. Is nuts, and I think when the universe is like, yo, it's time for you to take it up a notch. Just like all like the floodgates just come in and everything. Why are you laughing? Yeah, why are you laughing?
Because I understand, bro. Because I get
I'm
it.
just like, yo, ease up on me, man.
Yeah.
Ease up, and it's like, nah.
No, right.
Nah. But I understand it though, and I always think to myself, I'm like, yo, I consider myself fucking Mary J. Blige. I ain't gonna lie. Mary J. Blige with that My Life album. You know what the fuck she had to go through in order to get that out? And I thought I was going through something, very, very deep with Water for My Seeds, which I was. But now, especially as I'm writing book number 2, I'm like, whew, let me call for air for a little bit. Because this work right here is some serious soul work. And I ain't really signed up for it, but like you said, like letting God's will be done, and it's like, use me, and it's like, then when he decide to use you, you like tap out. So yeah, for sure.
Okay, word. So then with Water for My Seeds, how long did it take you to get from when the idea popped into your head to actually it was into a book and you were ready to launch that thing? How long in between was that for you?
So I lived it in 2016, 2017, started writing it 2018, put it down, picked it back up 2019. Then I started kind of getting all of the editing done and all that good stuff and really taking it to the next level to make it a tangible product. But then once 2020 hit, that's when it came out. So everybody's like, yo, this shit. And I'm like, yo, yes. But it feels so like far now because this is dealing with my most recent relationship that is no longer, and then the one before that. So it's highlighting two. So like in the beginning chapters, it's more one, and then in the middle jealousy is more about the other one. Then you come back and it's like I'm bopping in between.
Yeah.
So I would say all in all, it was like a 4-year drum. It was like a 4-year process, and I really lived everything I wrote in that book. And I think I'm so grateful to God. I think that's why a lot of people can relate to it, because it has so much vulnerability. It has so much transparency. And I'm like, yo, it's just me. Right. And I know everybody had to feel it. And at that time, I was like, at that time, I say this book came at the right moment, because I felt like in my creative journey, I was on music. You know, everybody was like, oh, the boy with the roll. I'm like, it's like, you want to spit something? No. I hung that up. Yeah, but at that time, within that certain relationship, I felt like I lost my voice when it came to that type of performing. And so I was like, I need to figure out my own lane. I need to shift. I need to make a pivot. I need to figure out how to get it out, but in a different way. And that's by way of therapy, the water from my seeds. And I went to therapy, and it was just a whole lot of shedding. And yet here I am doing a whole nother layer of shedding. And it just feels so much different, because now I'm in it's more recent. So that's water from my seeds that's like the baby. That's my cradle right there, you know?
This book made me feel so seen. I'm not gonna like in all seriousness, especially in when you were speaking of jealousy, when you're speaking of your shadow side. I'm just like shadow. Because it's like with social media right now and with just the way society is, we don't like to let people into our flaws, to our shadow side. So for you just to come out and be like, here I am, take it or leave it, it was very like empowering for me to be like, okay, wow, like I can also do this too. So it's funny you said that, because like, so Golden Hour, the idea came 2018.
Word.
But it's 2021 now.
You see?
And it's,
you see?
So
had like, to grow a little bit.
No. A lot of it. One, I didn't have the full idea. It's still, like, I had the name. I knew I wanted to do a podcast. I knew I wanted to talk. Like, honestly, you were on my original list to interview, even back then. Right. But I didn't have the growth, the maturity, the understanding of myself to want to do this. And I also wasn't in the best place either to do it. Where it's like, I didn't want to just, it be like, word vomit. It's like, no, like I want people and myself to be able to walk away from this, like learn something and feeling uplifted, not like, dang, we just all in the same goddamn boat. There's like, nothing really we can like leverage with each other on. And I love that you touched on that when you were like, I just feel like I didn't have the maturity, because Water from My Seeds, I like to think of that book as a book of self-awareness and a book of self-accountability. Talk about it. This next one, and where I am in this journey, in this period right now, this transition, it's all about self-maturity and coming into more into me, learning that like self-love, you know. I touched on it like a little bit towards the end of Water from My Seeds, but it was more so lifting up the covers and being like, yeah, you did X, Y, and Z, sis. And this book is like, all right, well, we did that, and like it's be like, all right, well, this is what I love about myself, and this is how we moving forward, and I'm gonna go where the love is at, and I'm not gonna try to harp on that because we already dealt with that. So it's a whole different energy that I'm dealing with now, and it's like, well, where do I start? You know what I mean? No, exactly.
Man.
So in terms of, you said self-awareness for this book, we all, I believe we all know, or I would like to think we know, how important self-awareness is. So you talked about, therapy was important for this. But can you just walk me through like the questions that you were asking yourself during this time period that you were running?
Yes.
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, let's unpack real quick. So some of the questions, I mean,
He's like, I don't.
it's like, yo, like, am I good enough? Like, what? Why me? It was a lot of like pity party when I, started doing that. And the relationship I was in actually pushed me to go to therapy. And I'm like, why you trying to push me to go to therapy for? Like, what did you try? Like, what?
Yeah.
And I didn't. Again, changing your perception of things and like learning to have that level of self-awareness and that maturity of self and that level of love for self, because you owe it to be better. Right. You owe it to yourself to be better. Right. And so I just ask myself a lot, like, yo, like, why am I not good enough? Or like constantly trying to fix things and like fix people or fix relationships and letting them, instead of just letting them run their course or be what they gonna be. It's like, why do I always feel like I have to beg people to love me or like beg people to be here or beg people to stay? And why did I feel like I had to be everything to everybody? Especially to this one, this one particular person. Why did I feel like I had to be everything? And like, what was it about myself that I just felt like wasn't enough for me? Right. Because I actually read this book when I was doing therapy, and it was called Doing the Work. I don't know who the author is, but she teaches you how to, like, it's not even teaching, it's like in the book it's like conversations, and in the book she's saying like, okay, well, this is something you don't like. So for example, in a relationship that I was in, I don't like that, say for example, I don't have access to you 24 hours of the day, right? Like I feel like I don't talk to you enough throughout the day, so why don't I have your time, right? And then it's like, well, flip that. Well, do you give yourself that same amount of time? And it's like, you have to just keep reversing this and keep, just asking yourself the same questions that you would ask this person. And 9 times out of 10, my answer was no. No. Why don't you love me? Well, do you love you? No. Right. Why didn't you give me no time? Well, are you giving yourself time? Are you carving out time for yourself? No. Well then, ma'am. Right. What you expected? Dang. You feel me? Yeah. So that's literally like what sparked and what I was going through in the middle of that. Water for my seeds. And I still am. Yeah. I hate to admit that. Still am. Yeah. I don't know. You know what I mean? That ego, boy. That ego and that shadow side, it's still there. Oh yeah, it's never going nowhere. It's gotta be there. There's gotta be balance in it. And I think it's like on this journey, at first what I was trying to do was, I don't have any flaws. I'm not this, I'm not that. Yeah. And very much so trying to ignore my shadow side instead of trying to work with and understand that side of myself. Why it's even there. Why it's even acting the way it's acting. I'm like, yo, you acting up right now. Like, I gotta literally step outside myself and be like, yo, ego, you acting up. Why you acting like that? Why are you acting like that? And a lot of the questions I started asking myself, I'm like, yo, am I really hurt? Do I really give a fuck? Or do my ego care? Do I really care? No, you don't. It's your ego. It's the ego. It's really the ego. It's the ego. So then in having this conversation about ego and shadow and us not being happy when we learned that we had an ego and that we had a shadow side, for you, what has that relationship evolved into now? Are you more accepting of your ego side, of your shadow side? Are you still like, fuck that bitch? Can you like what? Yeah. What's that relationship like right now? I'll be ready to fight every day. Me and ego like this. We like this. But I understand, like, when you have a greater understanding of what ego's job is or the mission is really just out of protection, out of just honestly probably like my inner child, my little self, little t. But it don't come off like that. The intentions mean well, but the actions that the ego drives you to do and the thoughts that the ego makes you think or like tend to bring to you, they a little irrational. They're actually a lot irrational for me. They're a lot irrational. And it keeps me in rabbit holes that I'm trying to dig myself out of. And it's like, it comes to the point where I actually am in therapy now. And my therapist gave me this analogy where it's like, yo, when you feel the ego talking, it's like, yo, you automatically gotta cut it. You gotta dead. You gotta be like, yo, interception. Like, yo, inner fucking inception. We're not doing that. We not. You gotta really start talking. Like, I'm not doing that.
Right.
I'm not doing that. I'm not fucking with you. I'm not listening to you.
You gotta get real, like.
But the whole time I'm like,
up with your ego, like.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And that's the relationship that I have right now. Because I'm in a position where I can't really be too soft on it, because I'm gonna just keep relapsing back into some shit that I'm trying to heal from and move forward from. And I don't think I'm there all the way with the discipline to be like, all right, I hear you, but I'm gonna just, it's like, no, sit the fuck down.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little bit of that tough love, that roughness. And that's kind of like where I'm at with it in my journey. So ego's taking a back seat. Well, it's not really taking a back seat. I'm just learning how to work with it, but giving it a little bit of tough love, some elbow grease.
So how are you finding, and not only just with your ego, but how are you finding this balance between being kind to yourself, but also giving that tough love? So yeah, because it's like,
man,
in growing, in wanting to pursue, you know, your best self, right? You know, your career, there has to be a balance of, yes, I know that we may not feel like it right now, but we got to do what we got to do. So what has been your balance between these two extreme opposites?
Yeah. I think I'm actually still trying to find that balance, but the thought that at least keeps me more grounded and centered is like, yo, you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to look back and not be at the same position. And when you look at it like that, it makes you want to fucking move. It makes you want to fucking move, you know? Because if I'd be damned if I'm looking back at this right here, a couple years from now, 2 to 3 years from now, and I'm still, no, absolutely fucking not.
So then with that, at what point did you understand that nobody was coming to save you?
At that point where my heart just kept on breaking. We're all these motherfuckers. No, kidding. But we're all when all these relationships that I built around me just were not it every fucking time. And I think I'm falling deep, and it's like, nope. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. It's like, damn, well, that's when it's like, well, then what is it about me? You know, then you start pivoting. Like, you can't, it's only so many people you can be like, it's you. Until you're like,
right.
What's the common denominator?
Yeah. Me.
You feel me?
Yes.
And I think that's just the most powerful thing you can do. That's the way that I've been taking my power back when it comes to that, and realizing like, yo, it's really only me. I'm my own savior. That's it. I have to figure out how to mother myself. I have to figure out how to soothe myself. I have to figure out how to love myself. I have to figure out how to be there for me first above all. I gotta figure out how to give me the time that I'm trying to claim from other people. I gotta figure, it's all these things that we demand of other people. It's like, yo, like making sure that I'm taking inventory on, am I doing that motherfucking same goddamn shit for me? Am I? Yes or no? Right. And that's when the honesty come in. So yeah, man.
Yeah. Yo, and I think for me, what's been making that part a little bit easier, like I'm a very visual learner. I learn through images and analogies. And through mothering myself and nurturing myself, I literally have to picture a little me. Like I like inside of I literally like, yo, bro, like I understand that what just happened, it wasn't cool. It wasn't cool. How do you feel? And she'd be like, man, like
you know that little
temper tantrum. I let it out. I listen. I'm like, okay, what are we going to do from here? She's like, and if she's still feeling that, again, still fill it out. And then, okay, what are we gonna do about it? Well, and it's like that helps me literally get to the point where I'm just like talking to myself. Cause
do you ever do like, I feel like I did a meditation once, and they were like, something that I wanted to actually work into my routine was like womb healing.
Bro, I just started doing that recently.
Did you?
Bro, so
what is your, because I'm like, I don't need no womb healing. No, sis, you need a lot of womb healing.
Yo. Yes. So I picked up the book Sacred Woman.
Okay.
I have not.
I ain't really tapped into that. It's
a tough
read. Yeah.
It is. Like you really have to commit to it.
That's
because there are a lot of action items into it, and they say it helps if you have like a group of women to do it with.
Okay.
So all of it. So like if you are going to do it, I would recommend reading it with women.
Okay.
But in terms of womb healing, like for me, sometimes I will literally just like put my hands on my womb.
Yeah.
And like, and this is after I've meditated, and I'll just be like, womb speak. Like what is it that you want to say?
Yeah.
I'll have my notebook in front of me, and I'll just be writing anything that comes to mind.
Yeah.
And that's like my womb literally talking to me.
That's literally where we be storing these emotions for real.
That's it.
Like all of them. All of them.
Exactly.
And so I do breath work.
Okay.
So I do breath work, and there's this one, I usually do it laying on my back, and my hands automatically just go to the womb. And I'm like, oh man, that's just probably it calling me, like, yo, I need some TLC. Usually when I do it, I end up crying, but then at the end, it's like this affirmation. I have to figure out what exactly the name of it is, but it's like affirmations where you just kind of saying it out loud or saying it in your head, and you just have your hands there. You just have your hands there, and like once you have done the breath work for a couple of minutes, like the level of prana that's in your body is almost like a vibration within your hands. Place it right there, and it's almost like a self Reiki, right? Yeah. But I haven't done it in a while, and that's something I'm trying to work back in and weave back in, because I feel like I'm just so like on the go. Like let me just work out, let me come back, let me just hit this, and it's just like, but how are we gonna like more so nurture instead of giving all this like impact to your body? Instead of just being easy on the body. So,
and I think with that too, like a lot of it was, so I know like, or from my understanding about your womb, it's not necessarily your uterus, it's just your womb space. So, but with that, my womb space does hold my uterus, and even coming to peace with like my menstrual cycle and learning to work with that has been also a really big thing. I now celebrate when it comes. Thank you.
I want to get there. Come on, Rose.
I celebrate because one,
that's
I'm
love.
not pregnant. Okay, cool, yay. All right. But two, it's like, this is literally my body cleansing itself. It's not meant to be anything, dirty or icky. My body is just doing what it naturally is supposed to do, and I'm blessed that I get to have this thing every single month.
This experience.
It's cleansing. And I want to get back to the point where like I can take off work for a whole week.
You feel me?
And I'm celebrated during this time. Like I want to get back to that point, but for now I do it to myself. And it's like I have made peace with that. So that's another one. A third one.
That's love. I need to get on your. Listen, I need to.
It's taken a while, but also I don't have crazy symptoms. Like yes, I do have like cramps and all that stuff.
I'm the same. I'm pretty mild.
It's not crazy. So it's like I really can't complain. You know what I'm saying? But third, if you really want to get into the womb work, all right. This is like, all right, y'all. Listen, for the ladies. All right. So when you're done your shower, right? And you have like, moisturize or, whatever, put on some type of like frequency for womb healing or like for like feminine energy. I'm gonna do this shit
tonight.
Baby, do a happy baby, like the yoga position.
Okay. Is it when you hold your feet or your ankles or whatever the hell?
And just, you just like.
I'm about to try that shit tonight.
It is freeing.
Okay.
It is I get to connect with myself.
You feel me?
I feel so good. Like, cause one, I've also been getting into like stretching more and yoga. Cause anytime I do any like crazy hip openers, I'm crying, like tears.
Isn't that crazy? That's one thing I noticed about me. I have a lot of masculine energy.
Yeah.
So when you're tapping into the divine feminine, that sensual movement, I realize I'm a little bit rigid. Yeah. I'm like, even when it comes to like sexual movements and things of that nature, or just how I move my body on a regular, it's more like bam, bam, bam. What's up? Let me get it. More so than. It's I don't know. So that's something that I actually am working on. I'm working on, especially with this whole different transition that I'm in. I think it's requiring me to tap more into my divine feminine and the feminine side, because my masculine side just leads the way all the fucking time. Put that shit on your back, cuz, and keep it pushing. You feel me? Like, that's literally how I have been trucking along and how I've been getting along for a grip, like a minute. And so now it's like, well, how do you unpack that, remain soft with yourself, remain soft with the world, remain soft with the people who actually did hurt you, even though, you know, it's all perception, right? It's everybody's own experience.
Yeah.
But then how do you remain being soft and then, you know, just flowing in that instead of just becoming hard a little bit? So,
yeah,
you know,
I do.
Strength is soft. You know what I mean? Strength and softness. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Being soft yet strong. I understand. Bro, when I was reading this part.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just read it out loud. First of all, this part. And spirit doesn't care what you appear like. It just knows what it needs to be. No, it knows that it needs to be in essential peace, balance, peace and harmony. First of all.
Bitch.
All right. And then.
Like my favorite bar.
Yo, I was like, what? Like, I wrote that. Yeah. Yeah. No, like honestly. All right. The next part. One thing I know. Life will grip your buckling knees to bring you to the pits of your suffering until you pivot toward what needs to be identified to perpetuate your soul growth. So I think in that, and we're talking about being your own savior, I feel like our soul is really what keeps bringing us back to like, no baby. And it's gonna keep hitting us over and over again until we get it and until we're willing to be the ones to like look and be like, all right, I think I'm the problem. Yeah. Or I think, you know what, actually, like you said, I am the common denominator in this piece. So,
right.
But the last part was no, I think that was it. It was just funny that when I read this part, a spider landed on my right shoulder earlier today. And it was interesting because, like, from what I was thinking about before I read this was about pacing myself. Yeah. And again, that balance between, like, loving myself and being honest and being kind to myself, but also, like, all right, we have to get moving. Yeah. That spider landed on my shoulder. And to me, I like...
Did you look it up? You see what the spider mean?
So I like well beforehand I had, and to me, spiders always represent either patience or creativity.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
So the patience part is like, if you think about a spider that creates its web. It has to create the whole web, and then it has to sit and wait for its prey to even buzz around the web, and then for it to get stuck in the web. And then to go to the fly or whatever, and then wrap it in it, whatever it does. Yeah. It takes a lot of patience for a spider to even eat.
So it plants its seeds and then waits.
Very much so. So when I was reading that, and I was again having that internal battle of like, you know, I know I want to do all these things, but I know like I have to be kind to myself. And it was like patience. Like, you need to have
divine
patience
reminders
with yourself.
Divine reminders.
And it's crazy because it was a spider, you know?
I mean, you wasn't even tripping.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, oh, hell no.
I was like, oh, hey. But we're going to get off. I was like, okay. Yeah, we're going to get off. Yeah. But I still very much so was like, thank you for that reminder that I need to be forgiving of myself. So on this journey, it takes a lot of forgiveness. It takes forgiveness of ourselves, most importantly, but also those around us.
That part.
So in terms of forgiveness, that's a whole job. That's a whole.
And I was about to say thank you for that reminder for me, even though it's from me. Like it's so trippy sometimes just hearing that out loud, because I'm like, yo, I don't read my stuff. But to hear it, I was like, damn, I needed that. I needed that because it's like, yo, like in our human experience, like we want certain things that our soul just don't want. Yeah. You know, and I think that is just a tough pill to swallow. Even right now, it's currently what I'm trying to swallow and digest. It's like, no, you want it. Soul got something completely different that's just gonna surpass this. But it's like, I just can't get it. Like, I'm about to do. What do I do in the meantime? But yeah, that level of forgiveness, just forgiving myself, for I guess it would be a lot of times for me, forgiving myself for putting limits on myself because I wanted to stay in something that was familiar and safe. Because my ego was like, no, this is my person, this is home. But it's like, soul is like, make yourself home first, and then I'm gonna surpass all that shit. You know? So forgiving myself for staying in some shit and limiting myself, but also forgiving myself for, in a way, manipulating people to stay with me off that shit, because I ain't want my ego to suffer. Because if you leave, then my net is gone. That means now I gotta choose something different. Right. Now I gotta pop out and find my own wings. I'm cool. We good. Let's just stay in this forever. Yeah. Nah. No. So I so those are the things that I have to forgive myself for. And in turn, hope other people forgive me for. But at the end of the day, that's not none of my business. Yeah. You know? That's not your work to do. It's not my work. My work is to acknowledge it and to change it and to be better. Yeah. How you view me after that, or how you view me ongoing, sorry. Yeah. Yo, and you mentioned wings, and shout out to Tracy G, yo. I love Tracy G, dog. There was a post today on her Instagram that she posted her affirmations, and it was like, when you agree or when you want wings, you also want the cocoon. And I was like, time to do the work, trying to go back into self. Yeah. When it's time to put up a notch. Right, because you can't want the end result without wanting what happened in between. And without wanting to do that work. Right. So. Period. Dang, bro. And what's her name? Tracy G. It's Tracy G. It's Tracy G on Instagram. I will send you her Thank you, because I've never heard of her. Really? Yeah, no. You would really like her. She's a writer? She's a wordsmith. I don't know what else to call her. All right. She's a host on Sway in the Morning. Oh, okay. I found her, or I learned about her at CultureCon 2019. Okay. And I was just like hooked when I first saw her, just because it's her way with words. She also has a podcast. She has way with words. So now you're like enticing me. Like now I'm like, all right, let's go. Yeah. Okay. But in her talking about just like how important that in-between phase was, I just thought that, wanted to share that here. Just because we're talking about the in-between phase and how uncomfortable the cocoon is, how uncomfortable it is to forgive, how uncomfortable it is to acknowledge our shadow side and our ego side, but it's so necessary to get to where the hell we gotta go. Yeah, and the only way through is really just embracing that shit. Yeah. That's literally all we do. That's all you can do. That's it. Just embrace it. That's it. Just embrace it. Mm-hmm. Knowing that God is sharpening you for something greater that you can't even see. So just like leaning into that vision. Yeah. That gives you a little bit more solace. A little bit more relief. Yeah. Because if you're looking at all the shit around you that's either changing, or all the shit that looking at you, all the shit you gotta change, it's like, nah, cause I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. But yeah, just really fall in love with this middle phase. I'm learning how to do that every day. But of course it's like this, bro. Yeah. It's like this. And I don't know if it's comforting or if it's intimidating, saying that there's always going to be work to do. There's always going to be layers to set. Always. It never ends. It really never ends. It really don't. So it's like, could be, for some reason I keep thinking about page 63. I don't know why, so I'm gonna go to it real quick. It really don't end, but it's like you just have to have faith in your healing, that once you do have like another moment of things where it's like a little bit harder, it's like where were you at, and everything that you healed before and prior, you just at a different level of strength at that point that you can maneuver a little bit better. And that was a beautiful, I'm still learning to trust that my darkness is not my quicksand, but my oasis, my watering place. It is my place of growth. It will not confine me to my shadows, but free me into brilliance, into wisdom, into all that I am meant to be. I hope you know that I'm doing the work of mothering me just as well as I can nurture you. Love, resilience, and worthiness are the stitches that hold the thread together. Who wrote that? Yo, it's like a portal. It's a portal. I just be like, me right now, it's like, yo, I'm proud of you. Yeah. I'm proud. Yeah. I'm really proud. You should be. Look, I can't even say shit because I feel it coming, but I'm like, yo, I'm proud. I'm proud, man. I'm proud to be able to come up with. Actually, I didn't. For God to be able to put that in me in order for that message to come out with where I was. Yeah. Who knows? Like that. When you think like that, then it's like, moving forward,
Yeah.
it makes this transition phase that much greater, that much sweeter. It's the sweet spot.
Yeah.
It's the transition is the sweet spot between you, God, your next self. So let's all have a fucking meeting and we all sit here like this. You feel me?
Yes.
So that's we gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Y'all don't take that. We gonna be all right.
We gonna be all right.
We at a meeting place right now.
Yeah.
We figuring out a plan how to get from here to the next level.
Right.
And
but we gonna be okay.
that right there.
I think that was a beautiful.
Yeah.
I think you said it perfectly. You said it beautifully. There's more work to do, but we gonna be okay. We gonna be okay. So. Damn! Thank you for that, dog. No,
Thank
like,
you,
like,
bro.
thank you.
Thank you.
Like, thank you.
Oh my God.
Like, you. It is you. So with that is that. But we're gonna get to the basket. So basically, these are questions. These are just questions. So I wanted you to
like truth or dare. Like, no.
take your clothes off, like. All right, so you get to.
I just pick one.
Just pick one and then answer the question.
Feel like I'm like picking a tarot card.
Right.
This better not be nice.
Probably will be.
What's been your biggest mistake so far in life, and what did you learn from it?
Damn.
I have two answers because part of me is like, I ain't make no mistakes. I just collected lessons, you know?
Right.
I collected the necessary lessons. However, if I had to give you the answer that most people would like to hear, the non-philosophical,
right.
The human me, my biggest mistake, man, was just staying in things and not listening to my intuition. Because
Bruh.
I know a lot of my mistakes really is like, oh, love and relationships, but that's literally where I draw a lot of my work from. And it's like, yo, my biggest mistake was staying knowing I should have been dipped and then be fucking sick when the shit crumble and you looking like, why God? And God is like, yo, I told you a year ago.
Right.
That's my biggest mistake. I capped myself. That's what I do.
Yeah.
But what did I learn from it? That I'm always going to get to where I gotta be.
Right.
I'm always going to make a way back. I'm always going to be good. I'm always going to land on my feet. I'm always just going to find a way.
Yeah.
You feel me? I'm always. I'm always.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm always and always. Listen, I'm always going to be connected. So it's just like, it is what it is. But yeah, if I had to say, that would be my biggest mistake.
Well, thank you for that.
Absolutely.
In hopes of an attempt to spread more love and kindness. That is what always trying to do. I am going to ask you to pick a number between 1 and 500. So you have plenty of options.
Okay.
And basically, this is what we're pulling from is Christian Crosby's or his brand, Live Life Nice.
Okay.
From his like Be Nice, Do Nice challenge.
Right.
So it's inspiring 100,000 acts of nice.
Okay.
With this. And this is just, again, his list that he has on here. And if you can do this thing in a week, that would be great.
Oh gosh, based on the number.
Yeah. Yeah. But don't, and this is not for me. I don't want you to feel you have to take a picture of you doing it. Like, this is simply just to pass it on, to pay it forward. So
that's dope. I'm curious to see what I'm about to get.
Give me a number between 1 and 5, honey.
250.
Oh, honey. 250.
It was either that or 333, so 250 I'll play.
Which one you want? Yeah, actually, I'm gonna do 350.
Okay.
Yeah. 350. Thanks. Yaga.
So I told you 250. That was my first thought.
So do you want to hear what it is?
For which one?
250.
Yeah.
Bring tweets. Bring treats to a local police station.
I'm good.
That's why I was like, all right.
I'm really playing.
But then,
what was 333?
333 is help sick animals find homes.
Oh.
Now, you can take this literally, or you can take this figuratively.
Okay.
It can literally be go to an adoption center and do something. my brain also went like, and even just in the work that you're doing, I feel like you're helping
come home. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna call y'all sick animals.
Right. But we are wounded.
I feel you.
We are wounded beings. Mm-hmm. So
we walk with our bruises.
Take that literally, take that figuratively, but that's your kind task for the week.
Okay.
Whatever it is, and it can be small. It doesn't have to be super big. It can be an Instagram post. It can be whatever. Something also that you.
It's my dog's birthday.
Really?
So, I mean, it's funny that I got an animal kind of.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, doggy.
Mm-hmm. Little Brandy, shout out to you.
Word. Hey, Brandy. All right. Well, we are wrapping up. So, do you have anything you want to shout out? Who else are we spreading love to?
First of all, shout out to you for having me. You know what I mean? Thank you. Shout out to God for moving through us to have this. You know what I mean? Just to have this space and a safe space to be able to talk about this stuff. Shout out to my core group of family members, man. My brothers are the closest thing to me. If you meet them, that means you meet me. Without them, it ain't no me. Period. And just shout out to just everybody who supported my work. Everybody who read Order for My Seeds. Everybody who knows somebody who gifted the book. Everybody who just liked the post. Like, just anybody who knows anything from me, whether it's the Motivational MC days or the author days. I just shout out to y'all. Like, without y'all, like, I don't know, man. Order for My Seeds wouldn't have even been in as many hands. Like, I was cool with just put that shit on Amazon. That's it.
Bye.
But
bye.
That's it. I just want to send love to basically like everybody, man. Love and healing to everybody, because everybody going through something.
That's a fact.
Or want to be better, or want to get somewhere. So I'm just sending love, light, and blessings everywhere.
That's a fact. Hopefully y'all receive it. Next, shameless plug, y'all. If you haven't already. What are you doing? Okay, Water for My Seeds right here by the one and only Thierra Walker, okay? You can find it on Amazon. You can find it on your website.
You can find it at Rec.
You can find it at Rec Philly.
You can find it in Harrisburg at Good Brothers Cafe.
Period.
And that's currently it so far.
Cool, okay.
Yeah, it's a couple places.
And then where can they find you? How can people support you?
Word. So you can find me at my website at thierrawalker.com, which is just TH. I know it's a crazy spelling. THIERRA Walker.com. You can find me on my business page, Salve Soul, which is SALVESOUL.com. I'm gonna have a lot of dope stuff on there. I'm starting a stationery line, note cards. I'm all about written sentiments. Like, you don't know that. Like, written sentiments, like real healing stuff. Writing courses, finding your writing process, encouragement calls, all that good stuff. So you can find me on there. Instagram, Twitter, same deal, Thierra W. It looks like Thierra Raw, but it's not. It's just THIERRAW. That's it. And then you can always just shoot me an email, which is linked to my websites, Instagram, all that good jazz.
Word. We will link her below. No worries. You'll be able to find her. Very nice and easy. Any final words for the people? Any final words?
Just have faith in your healing and have faith in your journey and just trust your timing.
Word.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Y'all.
That's it.
Damn. Dimmadam. The owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadam. That's how the hell I'm feeling right now, y'all. So T, like, thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Nah, bro.
No,
Thank you, bro.
No.
She a fool, yo.
This was phenomenal. I learned something. I hope y'all learned something. And with that, we are wrapping up episode 2. I want to say thank you, as I understand that time is a resource that you cannot get back. So I appreciate you for spending your time and your energy with myself and with Thierra. So with that, if you have any feedback, let me know. Hit me in the DMs. I would love to hear any comments about this episode in particular. And with that, y'all, we are heading out of here. Go out there and do something your future self will thank you for and your past self will love you for. Peace.
Peace, y'all.
Cause this Rose motherfucking known as the golden hour, bitch.
The golden. Like a golden sun.
Are you...
Let's go. Yo, I'm really trying to get in my bag right now. I can't get in my bag. I'm gonna be a low ass kid on this the show, and I'm
no. And it's supposed to still be, so do, but damn, I'm glad that shit happened now. Yo, your feedback means the absolute world to me. I would love to hear about how you felt about this episode. Leave your comments below, shoot me a DM. I want to know. I really want to know how you feel about this. Also, if there is a certain topic that you want us to talk about, if there are certain questions that you want me to ask, please let me know. You can shoot me a DM on Instagram at itsrosegolden or in the email at info@rosexgolden.com. Information will be below, so no worries on that, okay? Thank you so much. I love you.